So we've had several questions about what to do in order to properly maintain a Bugaboo Fox 5, and today we want to show you where to lubricate and some things that you can do in order to keep it in good working order. So, in general, it's going to be the lower ends of the stroller that's going to need more attention when it comes to maintenance and lubrication, since it's closer to the ground, so more subject to moisture, which can lead to rust, as well as dirt and grit and so on, getting into the mechanisms. On the rear frame, what you'll want to do, remove the wheels and wash out the wheel housings from time to time. And then you'll want to lubricate the ball bearings. In that case, I recommend WD-40 or a generic multi-spray. Just going to spray in around the ball bearings, give it a little bit of a twist to work in the stuff. And then you can also spray in here where the wheel locks into place, and that will allow the lubricant to get down into the locking mechanism. And also, you can spray in to where the brake system is. So it's here. And when you're doing that, you're going to want to flip the stroller up on its end so that your spray lubricant can run down with gravity into the mechanism. And you can turn on and off the brakes a few times in order to help it spread through. When it comes to the front end of the stroller, you can again use WD-40 or a generic multi-spray to spray in right here where their ball bearings to the front wheels are, so that it will work itself into the bearings there as well. While with the housings and all of the swivel mechanism, how it locks into place, I don't necessarily recommend using WD-40 or anything so slippery. So if we remove this, in general, I wouldn't do anything with how the front wheels connect within the housings unless you're having swivel issues, meaning that it's stiff to turn side to side. In which case, I would start off by using something like silicone spray. Just spray it around. You can spray here inside the mechanism as well, and it can work its way into those swivel locks. And then if that's not enough, you can move on to trying a thicker grease that's not quite as slippery, like food industry grease, or there's a few other white lithium-based greases that can also be quite useful in order to give it a little bit more of a surface in which to slide on. As far as higher up on the chassis goes, there's of course the folding system and the handle, which I'll show in a moment. If things are working relatively well there, you don't necessarily need to lubricate, but if you do notice that things are working a little bit stiff, then you can again use WD-40, or in this case also the silicone spray. And for the folding system, you want to spray in here in between these cracks and then fold and unfold the stroller so that the lubricant can work its way around stuff. You can also spray in here where the handle element runs into the arms, and then it will run down as you work the mechanism. And lastly, should you notice that the folding triggers and buttons are a bit stiff, you can also spray here in around both buttons and work the mechanisms again, and it will help to lubricate inside the handle element itself. When it comes to the seat frame, like higher up on the chassis with the folding mechanism and the handle, this is not an area you're going to need to maintain regularly via lubrication, only if the mechanisms themselves feel stiff. So if you're having issues with the stiffness of the adjusting the position of the seat or locking the frame onto the chassis, what you're first going to want to do is remove all the textiles, and we have a separate guide for that. If you need a little bit of help with that, you can then wash the textiles, which is also, of course, good for maintenance. And then here, you'll want to spray into this little crack here, which is what rotates, and that'll help to deal with that position of the seat frame in case you're having issues. While with regards to the seat frame locking to the chassis, sometimes that does wind up being an issue for people, that it doesn't lock in place or is stiff to unlock. You want to flip the seat frame all the way over, and then you can spray down into here and pop on and off those things just by attaching to the chassis and so on. In the back, you can also position the seat frame so that gravity will help this run down inside and spray in around this positional flap. As far as other things you can do to keep your Fox 5 in good working order, I would firstly recommend registering your product, of course, with Bugaboo, so you get that extended 4-year guarantee. I would recommend not buying carabiner hooks in order to hang heavy things from the handle. That can just put too much extra stress on that folding mechanism. And if you're going to use a wheeled board, it should only be in very smooth environments for limited periods of time, as it also puts a bit of extra stress on that central hub. In any case, we hope this video was useful to you, and if it was, we ask you to subscribe, as it helps us continue making videos in the future. Thank you.